What?
Are we live?
Yeah.
Oh.
Welcome to the Deviant Witchery show, where witch can be witch. Being a deviant witch means something differently for everybody, but it means to do what needs to be done. What we seek to do is to empower and inspire witches, helping them find their own calling and give them a place to do so without worry or judgments. What we express in these videos is our personal experiences and influences. We encourage you to comment on our videos, join us on our page, and also our Facebook group. And that's all I got.
That's it? I mean, there's like nothing else. Like, that's it?
Everybody that ordered from the last Teespring campaign should have gotten their shirts. I know that we had a couple of pictures in the group. I got mine. I know.
It's there. I don't know how I feel about them. Okay, so I think they're kind of funny because if you look at it, like, I'm kind of cold, obviously. But it's like right here, and it says "Deviantly Delicious" like right under your tits. Well, mine, because they're not so huge.
I think they're designed for like old women.
But I think it's like a universal, like a cosmic. I don't know, because like I was telling Scarlett the other day, when I want to like focus, or like even when I ground, or if I'm going through something like really crazy, I need to like just pull myself back into myself. Where the apple like actually hits, I usually put my hand right there, and I just like focus on my breathing, like I feel my energy flow in and out of there. So I think that's kind of funny.
So now when you're wearing your shirt and you start to feel anxious, just focus right there.
Yeah, like, you know, apple. I do, and it's pretty good.
I actually love that, though. That's good.
Apples, you know, obviously represent, you know, wisdom, love, and all that good shit, which, you know, is attached to our topic for the month. You know, November is all about, you know, all this warm feelings, you know, hearth and home, community, can't say that shit right, and other shit like that. So the apple being where it is, it was funny to me because it just reminded me like of the connection that we share to, you know, people that we care about, you know, people that are close to us, and how that influence, you know, it expands, and you share how you feel with, you know, the people that you love and the people that you care for, and you share your magic with them, you share your time with them, and then they feel a certain way, and then they share that with the people they love. So it's just like, it's all this network of energy that we have the power to really influence, and we have the power to strengthen and to really plant, because apples, you know, seeds, like to plant the seed of how we wish things to go. And that's kind of what we do here with the Deviant Witchery community, is we plant different seeds, and we share with you, and we share with you in all the ways that we can. And we we obviously share together as well, and we build this this energy, and that you guys get to witness that in different ways, and we witness that obviously in way different ways. It's just pretty cool. So the way that the shirt turned out, as much as like it irritated me at first, I like it. And I just totally went on a whole tangent because of a t-shirt. Like, but okay, so I don't know if any of y'all watched. I forget what the video was called. I really can't. It was Lady Gravedancer did a video, and I wanted to mention a little bit about it because it inspired me in certain ways. And it was funny for me because if y'all haven't read the newsletter, you really should. The article that I wrote in the newsletter, it aligned with kind of what she expressed. It was about like our community and how it's not broken. Just basically grow up, and everyone is entitled to being who they are. They have their own, you know, little, you know, communities, or you just be who you are. Be present with who you are, and be an adult. There was a lot more that was said, and I can't even remember, but I just like the fact that our community is not broken. And I'm talking a lot, so yes.
I mean, I think as far as that goes, I think our community is not broken and never will be broken. There are people that have different thought processes, and if anything's broken, it's individuals, not the community as a whole, and how individuals react and work with each other and communicate with each other. And you can't really do anything about that. You can only control and focus on yourself.
Yeah, so
So,
I really appreciated some of the stuff that she brought to to YouTube, to the people that she shares with. It made a lot of sense, a lot of good points there. Um, and it's true. I think more people, more of us need to focus on who we want to surround ourselves with. We need to focus on our own personal relationships. We need to focus on the people who uplift us, the people who we seek to be with, to uplift, to support. Um, the more that we are able to do that, the more we grow ourselves, the more that others grow, and the more that our community grows. Because once you start focusing on like a smaller, and I said this in the article, once you start focusing on a smaller group, you build that up, and I forgot to mute this shit. Sorry. You grow and you build that up. Okay, that's muted. And it becomes something entirely different. Just like with us, the way we started, and the information we started to share, and we connected on so many different levels, and where we were then and who we are now and where we are now, so different. But the more that we allowed each other to be, who and what we are, and just supported and expressed ourselves and just did our thing, we grew. And then from us growing, other people who watch the show, other people who are influenced by the page, who are influenced by the group, they have grown as well, just by planting those seeds, just by focusing on the people that you care about, just by focusing on who you really want to be around, and that's powerful.
There's been a lot of synchronization with different members of the community as well. It's like kind of a wind swept through the entire community, and we all got the same things on our mind. I did watch Tequila's video. I thought it was really good. I thought she had a lot of great points. I agree wholeheartedly that the community isn't broken, and it annoys me when people say that. Um, Everything grows and changes. Nothing breaks. It just becomes, and you know, it's not something that needs to be fixed, because that means that the people within the community are broken in and of itself, because we're what makes it what it is. Um, Also, we talked a lot as of late about the community as a whole, and understanding that what you're putting out is being heard, and a lot of people can take it for what it's worth. But you actually wrote a blog post about being impeccable with your word, and it's one of the 4 agreements. And lo and behold, the other day I watched a video from the Big Fat Witch, or Ember Honeyraven, and she was talking about being impeccable with your word. And it was like, so there's a lot of this, and that just proves to me that the community is not broken. It's we're more in line than most people think. Now, granted, we have different views. All of us, we're very different witches. One group's not going to necessarily believe and practice the exact same way, just like no one witch practices the same way as the other. But the community as a whole, and this theme of hearth and home, which still just grates me, because whenever I say it, I just draw a blank. I don't really know what it means. But then I start thinking about this month and how it's about coming together, and it's about enjoying each other for what they are, because we get a lot of us in the States anyway, communicate with our families a lot more this month than we normally do, and in December. But a lot of times you have to look past your differences and understand that they're your family members. You may not agree with them, but we're looking past because we really want good food and
Yeah.
fellowship, and so it's good.
And
Warm
the
and fuzzy
Canadians
community
already
feeling.
had their Thanksgiving, so the Canadians are a little bit ahead of us right now with that as far as that goes.
If if you like hear screaming, it's my nieces, and yeah, that's
I
what
thought it was a parrot. That's what it sounded like from this end.
it could be. A parrot. You never know. um, yeah. Well, and the Hearth and Home, like the first thing that people think of when they think of Hearth and Home, and it was like a really hard topic for me too. That girl is evil, I swear. She screams at everything, and then she'll like try and claw your face. I have not scars, but she scratched me up pretty good. She like smiled at me, and then she had that look in her eye, that haha, I'm running about, bam, like a cat. Cats do that, totally. But this month's topic, speaking of Hearth and Home, we got little demons in here. Um, this month's topic was really like a challenge for me because it's not something that I'm used to. It's not something that I really it's not. I'm not going to say it's not something I care for, but it is definitely a challenge. Although the more I think about it, the more that like I'm open to it. Hearth and Home can be so much more. It's not. It's not about like a physical location. It's not necessarily about physical people. It's about your connection and what you share with the world, with what you share with people. So like, it doesn't have to be like a bloodline. Uh, the relationship that we share, to me, that's more Hearth and that I get Hearth and Home from that because that's what I feel Hearth and Home is. People you connect with, people that you can hold like in your heart, people who you feel connected to in a way where you would protect them, that you would do what you can to make sure that they thrive, make sure that they get the best for themselves in their life. And I think that is a lot of what people don't understand too. Is like they think Hearth and Home and it has to be their family. But if you don't have a good connection with your family, then it doesn't really have to be that way. You be open to receiving. I sound so Louise Hay-ish right now, but you can be open to receiving of like healing from the relationships in your family during this time because people, like you said, are more open to having those connections. But in reality, not everyone comes from a great family. Not everyone is going to have that. So it's the people that matter in your life, the people who've been there, who helped you, who have inspired you, and you just have to transfer your thought process from thinking it's going to be someone at home. Because I have a lot of, and I'm going off again, but I have a lot of friends who did not have like a really great family experience, and they dreaded the holidays. They dreaded this time of the month. They dreaded next month because they didn't have anywhere to go, or they don't have anywhere to go. But they started making different relationships. They started taking care of themselves, and they built Hearth and Home as like a space within themselves, and so they were able to feel good during the times that they normally didn't, and they were able to kind of like send that out, and then they attracted people who either were more welcoming, like they had their family unit, but they were more welcoming and invited people into their home, or they attracted people who were also like them, and they created something, for themselves. So Hearth and Home is a very weird subject, and I think it's different for everyone. And it also it also reminds me, like every time I thought about this, it reminds me of community. It reminds me of where I would like to see community, and I don't speak for like the entire community. When I say community, I really do mean like our community, Deviant Witchery, what we're about, what we attract. I can only focus on that because that's what I'm a part of. I wish that for what we share with each other, what we share with the people who interact with us and who are engaging with us, what we shared there. I wish that for everyone because it's pretty fucking awesome. Uh, but when I say community, I think of Deviant Witchery. I think of the people aligned with us, the people aligned with that, who want to think for themselves, who want to engage in their craft, who want to do better. Um, so Hearth and Home reminds me of a feeling that I want to share, that I want to express. I want people to be able to like channel and express for themselves to kind of uplift and elevate their own community. Like this community, like the more we talk, the more we share, we become more, we do more. And I have no idea what, I think I'm just going off. It's all good. Bye. Yes. So there was something I was gonna say, and I don't remember what it was. Can't remember.
Touch your apple and see if it'll come to you.
No. Oh, okay. Yes.
See?
Well, let's talk about like abundance, like prosperity, wealth, all of those things, because this time of year is a time really is a good time to market that, like to really bring that in, because this time of year, if you can latch on to those great feelings, those people who are having these good vibes, if you could channel that, like that universal, cosmic energy that's being poured out, you can like utilize that to bring in great wealth, prosperity, abundance, everything into the home, into the family unit, into your work environment. So, and I include work environment because we spend a lot of times, a lot of our time at work. A lot of people spend most of their time at work because it's an extension of your home in a sense because of that. So you can really maximize maximize the power that this month and next month have to really cast for lasting results. So let's talk about like I said, money, wealth, prosperity, in regards to the type of energy that's going around right now.
See, when you brought that up, I started thinking about more so the gift-giving holidays and trying to put in your mind what it is that you want to receive. So if there's something in particular that you want to receive or something you want to have money towards, a bigger item, that's the first thing that I thought of, to put out that prosperity for that, for what it is that you want to receive. More in the gift-giving sense, not necessarily like the business sense.
I like that. Silly. You know where your mind is.
Because, like kids, I don't know, my daughter started making her list in August. So, yeah, I came back from New Orleans. She goes, Mom, I made my list. That's essentially what you're doing is when you as a kid, you're making your Christmas list. You're kind of throwing it out there that that's what you want and that's what you want to receive. And a lot of times it does manifest because people buy what's on that damn list.
Yeah. And also this is a time of like cooking, a time of like doing all the I love cooking. I don't like cleaning. I hate, washing the damn dishes. But I love to bake. I love to cook. So this is the perfect time to start infusing what you cook. Like if you make teas, if you drink your coffee. And if you drink coffee, you need to get Death Wish coffee because that shit is amazing. That shit will save your life. Let me just tell you. It will save your life, especially during the holiday season. But if you bake, if you do like whatever you bake, like something that another thing, like if someone is going through like financial hardship, you could actually utilize your witchy nature, create like if they love, like let's say they love your blackberry pie or something, I don't know, and that's not a metaphor, it's not anything, it's just the pie. Okay, so let's say they love that. You can make it for them, pour into it, infuse it with your power, not with your power, personal power, but bring in power and put into it like the spirit of the season, because there is a spirit of the season. You can connect with that spirit, and you can pour in blessings. Put blessings into every bit of the pie, and then you take it to them, and they consume it, and you're blessing them. And it doesn't have to be a pie. It can be a cookie. It can be a cake. It can be like candied walnuts. There's just so many different things that you can do in regards to like kitchen witchery to bless with abundance, and like to help someone to get out of like an issue or a problem in regards to like money. And people like to eat, and people who have money issues, they sometimes like the last thing, especially if they have kids, like the last thing that they do is eat, because they make sure that their family's provided for, so they make sure that their kids are provided for. So if they don't have extra food, they don't have that energy. So eat, blessing them with like a full-on meal is awesome. There's just so many
And you
different
know
things.
what is like that's great for adding a little extra herbal magic too, because you know that there's always that air of when you eat really good food, and then there's that little bit of something that you can't place your finger on, but and you're tasting it and you feel it, and a lot of times that with savory or sweet food is a spice, and the normal spices, cinnamon, allspice, um, nutmeg, all of
Mhm.
those which I associate so strongly with this time of year. Um, a lot of those are really, really powerful prosperity and prosperous spices and herbs. So nutmeg, especially when you're working with um, like really green vegetables, if you add nutmeg to it, there's like that hint of like, what the hell is that? But that's really good. Cinnamon is great in savory foods and really sweet foods. Cinnamon especially. Cinnamon is my go-to prosperous herb. It attracts money. It's wonderful at it. It is. It has a really warm, um, very homey, very hearth and home, very beautiful spirit to it. It can. It can also get mean, but for this time of year, we're gonna think the good stuff. Um, Add a little bit of cinnamon to it, and communicate with your herb, communicate with the spirit of that cinnamon, and you know, bid it to bring prosperity into the lives of the person that you're baking for or you're cooking for, and cooking and baking for somebody, especially if they're hard up for money and like they need it, that's a blessing in and of itself. Because if they're like a single parent, they've got like 3 kids, and I mean it's a challenge to get food on the table. So in and of itself, it's prosperous because they're already receiving a gift in and of itself with the food. But that lasting gift is that magic that goes into the food.
Right.
It's a double whammy.
Yeah. Another like, if you could either, and this is another thing you can do, is like you could take them the meal, like you could take it to them and let them take it and have it there, or and if you can get someone to enter your home, and if you're comfortable with it, bring them into your home and spell the entire place, like witch the entire place, like you light candles that are going to you know you know, open the way, take out, anything that's going to be like negative, get rid of all this junk, and then bless them, have them enter an atmosphere where it's going to be very welcoming. And when they enter the door, you could even spell like after they cross the threshold, like all that bad shit, all the shit that just gets on the mind, just sort of like leaves, it just goes. So when they enter your space, they have actual time to think. They have actual time to process everything without being so overwhelmed. A really good, do I have the oil? Do I have the oil? I don't. I do. Spontaneous combustion by Dorothy Morrison is really good. Like, it's my favorite right now because you can spray that shit. Like, you can spray the door. You can spray anything, and it just like gets rid of negative shit. It gets rid of like a negative atmosphere, and it just like pushes it out. Just it's no more. Um, I like it. And another cool thing though is like you can even if they're not witchy, just put it in a clear bottle and just say, hey, this is a really great room spray. Just try it out. They don't have to know what it's for. It's really good. It has some essential oils that's supposed to just clear the mind. So try and use it once in a while. But yeah, you can bring them into your home and totally create perfect atmosphere for them. So that's a good way to do stuff. And one thing that what was I doing earlier? I don't remember what I was doing, but I kept getting like, and I'll put this in. I'll put it in like members only like blog post. What I do, but I kept getting told to share this. Do you love Mexican chocolates? I love Mexican chocolate because I'm Mexican. Who knew? But you can make like hot chocolate with this stuff, and it just tastes so rich. It's so great, and utilize a cinnamon stick. And this is so like it's also warming. So if someone's not, if they're down, you serve them this. It's warm. It uplifts the spirits, not just because it's freaking chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? Unless you're allergic. Some people are allergic, and that's not okay.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's super sad.
That's
So
sad
maybe like I don't even know. But if they're not, you don't want to kill them unless you do. But you could create like hot chocolate, and that will, that uplifts the spirit. And if you connect with the spirit of the chocolate, because chocolate has a very powerful, and a very interesting, unique spirit. If you connect with it, you can utilize that connection, that relationship to help bring good fortune, help bring like a positive experience to those who consume it, because it elevates the mood and it helps people. It also it brings back memories, so you can definitely utilize that to your benefits.
You can also, right now, a lot of people have chocolate still from, I hope they still have chocolate from Halloween. So you could probably also enchant that as well. I know that's, not necessarily, moving on but into the next holiday season, but if you put candies out, a lot of people will have candy dishes or like, Hershey's Kisses and stuff, and you can always enchant the chocolate that's already like prepared. Because usually if it's out, somebody will take one. And peppermints too. I don't really know what you would do with the peppermint, but
peppermint, I love peppermints. Well, peppermint is like very refreshing, and you can actually use peppermint for prosperity.
It's uplifting too.
Yeah, because it's very overpowering too. Like someone can hate it, but I love it. That scent, it's just, and it's good to like, yeah. It's just I like it. I'm trying to think. Sorry.
Peppermint's good for protection as well, especially for like nasty, leechy, gross energy. Just pop in a fucking enchanted peppermint, you're good. Especially from Aunt Bertha, who's always negative and wants to put all her shit out there for everybody. Ignore her. Appreciate her for who she is, and then, silently to yourself when she dies, thinks, whew, one less negative person.
Well, you could even use like you could even use, and this kind of, well, it can go with money too, but you can go with whatever you want it to go with. You could utilize peppermint like essential oil, because that's really good. People utilize it to like alleviate headaches or head, like just. So headaches, they're caused, people get frustration. When you have a headache, you're frustrated, irritated, stressed sometimes, like something's just not balanced right. So you utilize peppermint essential oil to take that away. So you can take peppermint essential oil and apply that spiritually, and that will help take like your frustrated, your irritated feelings about your situation, and it will help to kind of uplift it. And like you said, it protects it at the same time. So you get the best of both because you need to protect this new feeling that you're going to implement while you get rid of the old. And it's a lot. I don't even know why I'm thinking about this, but at my work, we have this product that it stimulates hair growth. And so you have to use it in 3 steps. You use a shampoo, conditioner, and the treatment. The treatment protects the new hairs because if you don't protect the new hairs, they will just break off, and it's pointless. So that kind of goes with what I was just saying, is you have to protect that, that new growth because it's so fragile, it's still kind of like weak, it's still a little new. So you want to protect that new growth, that new belief, that new pattern, whatever it is that you're doing that's new. You have to protect it while you stimulate that growth and get rid of what no longer serves you. Yes.
Like, I think you just coincidentally we did a 3-step process right then anyway, because we talked about clearing the nasty, then promoting what you need to promote, stimulating what you need to stimulate, and then protecting what you have created. So,
It's like
damn.
magic.
Who knew Hearth Home could be so powerful?
Another thing, like during this time, is it makes people feel there's a lot of love going on. There's a lot of like feelings and energies. It's like familial love, love of a wife, husband, all sorts of different like lovey-dovey essences, going around. And you want to, and it feels good, it makes you feel good, it makes you feel happy, it helps alleviate, all kinds of different things. So that is something also that you want to bring into your home. You want to like just pull that in and make sure that you give it room to breathe and you give it a space, and that's why it's really great. I think it's good during this time to have like a specific type of love altar intermixed with a hearth and home altar. Just because you bring that together. You don't want to do like love and sex altar with your hearth and home because that can be like some
weird kinky shit.
Weird. You like let's have a Yule party with 13 people and it's gonna get crazy. But no,
somebody's being tag teamed.
But yeah, you want. Yeah, so you want to bring that into your space. You can do that in so many different ways. I think one of the good ways, a really good way to like open the door for that, especially if you're not used to expressing yourself or you're used to like feeling those feelings, is to tell people to express in your own way how you feel about someone. So that can be, and that's powerful magic to me because like words are so important to me. So when people say something to me, like I take them to heart. I do. So when you are able to tell someone how you feel, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, I love you. It could be like, I respect you. It could be like, I appreciate what you've done to me. You might appreciate what they did.
What you do.
I appreciate what you do to me. No, that could. Well, you could do that too, because
you could always say that you afterwards.
If they do you right, you are super appreciative. So no, like and express it in your own way. Some people speak and they write better. Some people are more like physical, where they'll just give you a hug and they'll transfer their energy through that. Some people share with like pictures. Some people like buy stuff for people. Some people, they speak through music. Some people, they just speak through different things. And whatever you connect with, do that. Did I write about this? I think I did. I don't know. But
You definitely did. I wrote it. I read it. Yeah.
okay. So you can do that, and then also try and understand the person you're trying to express to, and however they best, receive information. Try and do a little bit of that as well. But make sure that someone, a group, a situation, like a business, whatever has helped you, make sure you express it to them because that will open the door for so many different things, and then that actually brings in guidance. I know that when I do that for people, or when I do that to, god damn, I can't even speak. When I do that, it makes me feel better, and when I do that, I appreciate that exchange because I'm able to share with someone that this is how I feel. This is how I feel about you. I respect you. I'm so grateful that we have met. There's so many different things, and then that opens a very powerful space, and so much more comes in. So you open the door for communication, not just through your throat chakra, not just through here, but through the heart, and then that gets things going. So you get a lot more information on what you need to do. The more that you share, the more that you express yourself in whatever way you can, the more information starts flowing through you. So the more connected you are to what true hearth and home is. Like, it's a feeling and it's experience that you create, like, deep down in your apple. Why? I talk too much. But
that's really good shit. I like that.
Power to the people.
But I will have to say that that's great and that's wonderful. But this time of year, and Blythe hit on it a lot with her article in the newsletter. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, I would do that. It's really good advice. But she kind of talked about protection of the energies that you are around during this time. We're around a lot of our families. If you're into your family that way, and a lot of us just suck it up and deal with it. If not, you're around people that, holiday shoppers are crazy.
Yeah, they are.
If you volunteer at the soup kitchen, you're around a lot of different energies. The good thing about this year is that you come together, but the bad thing is you can pick up a lot of nasty shit. And sometimes it's from our own families. Let's face it. And sometimes we just want to make people shut the fuck up because their opinion is not needed and it doesn't add to anything. And some people can't get over family quarrels. A really good plant spirit to work with during this time of the year is forget-me-not. And it is a little tiny flower that grows in the spring and early summer. Depends on how much you baby it. But anyway, I would add it to a hearth and home altar, and especially when you got people coming around. Because normally there's always that one jackass, and if you don't know who that jackass is, it's probably you. But that just, everything can be going great, and they just throw a fucking boot and ruin shit, and then the whole family is like quarreling and fighting and arguing, and what should have been a really good time has turned into a really shitty time. Well, Forget-Me-Not helps with feelings of nostalgia. And when you are feeling, which is so connected to this time of year, because we think about the past a lot, we started with Samhain, we think about our ancestors, we really into Yule, but in the States we go through November, which is about giving thanks and getting together with your family and blah, blah, blah. But Forget-Me-Not brings those memories of nostalgia up, and it brings pleasant memories if need be, and I would just communicate with it and just ask it to, flood people with the good of yesteryear, not necessarily the bad, and fill everybody with that sense of nostalgia. And that kind of weakens everyone's ego a little bit to kind of just be quiet, enjoy it, and go with the flow, and make everything run a little bit smoother.
Mm. Another, yeah, I like that. What was I gonna
Or
say?
you can just really fuck with people with Forget Me Not and make them like catatonic for a day. That works.
Well, see, that's another thing that you can utilize. Like, if you can get something you can channel energy into, like that will store it and hold it. This season, this time of the year is full of fucking freaks. Like, not like their energy is just crazy. It brings out all the goddamn weirdos. People are like drinking, like they have their alcoholic problems starting now because they're like, I have to get with my family. I don't want to get with them. They suck. Blah blah blah. So they're paranoid, but I have to do it because freaking grandma's gonna die tomorrow. And so I got to be there because that's her last time, and I like my grandma, but I don't like everyone else. Blah blah blah. So people freak out. Like their anxiety is like it's just crazy. So what you can do is you can like almost in a sense siphon that essence and put it into something. You can you can put it into like a box, you can put it into like a poppet, put it into something that's going to store that essence and you could utilize later. So maybe even put my favorite, like a black obsidian, in some water and put it in the water. That way it actually stays there. But you can take that energy and put it somewhere so you can utilize later. You could even do this when you're at the mall and people are freaking the fuck out, and more so mall during during Yule time. But go to the grocery store like around Thanksgiving time. That shit is crazy. People are last minute shop. They're nuts. They're like fighting over the damn turkeys. Like you took the last freaking whipped cream. Fuck off. And people get crazy. So you could take that and you can pour it into something. And another cool thing you can do is if you have a pop-up with someone that you want to fuck up because they did you wrong, you could take that pop-up to the grocery store and you can utilize the paranoia, the frustration, the everything that's going on of that entire place. Talk to the spirit of that building, of that place, and create something that is going to basically, it really will kind of drive them batty. So you can curse someone who is a threat to your hearth and home, threat to your heart, a threat to the people you care about. You could utilize this time to really make sure that someone is just overwhelmed to a level that cannot even be expressed.
That's a good one.
That's awesome. Going back to your little trick of storing energy, it can be kind of out in plain sight. Make a centerpiece out of it. I mean, take a vase, put some black obsidian in it. If it were me, which I love black obsidian, but if it were me, I would add. I would actually program the spirit of a leeching plant, like maybe a toadstool or a sprig of mistletoe, and I would program that spirit to focus on the nasty energy and leech off of it, suck it into that vessel. So the nasty that comes in is actually being drained and put it into that vessel, put into that centerpiece, put into that vase on the mantle, and it's kind of your little nasty energy vacuum that everybody that comes in your home passes and may compliment you on it, but in reality, it's a working that's removing the bad from their home and from your home.
That gives me a really good idea, but which I will share on maybe our next or the video that we're gonna do right after this for members only. I might share that there, but that gives me.
But that's more to like clear the area of the nasty energy. and then to store it to use it for later for something else?
You definitely could.
Okay.
Or you could just throw it away, but, use it if you got it.
Right, exactly.
Hmm.
That's another thing. Like, you can also use the Hearth and Home stuff to completely screw up somebody's shit. Like, completely screw up somebody's shit. I can't even think of any examples right now, but
I have many examples that are like formulating in my head right now. Oh, that's not very good.
Share
That's
just a
not.
quick bit of that. Don't share too much, but just share a little bit of malediction with the Hearth and Home.
Well, you could utilize the different areas of the home to mm, to kind of influence people in a certain way. Uh, if someone you could utilize like the dust from like a bedroom to bring downfall to a person's uh, bedroom experience, the relationship that they have in their bedroom, uh, because that would disrupt hearth and home when someone is having some issues in that department. Uh, yeah, there's what you said though about the centerpiece, like really got me thinking about um, yeah, when people actually come and see certain things and they're able to like, oh, that looks really really good. They admire your work, but they don't realize that that work is actually not something good. So they're fueling your work in a way that benefits you, but they don't realize they're fueling the strife of another. I like that. That's something that yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
you can also cause somebody financial. Of course, we talked about more prosperity earlier, but you can cause somebody financial um, problems as well. I'm thinking some people have those family members and they don't want to admit it, or it's kind of like a hush hush secret in the family. But some people have those family members that are just really fucking nasty people. They're just really, really nasty people. Maybe they're thieves, maybe they're child abusers, maybe they've done some other things that nobody wants to talk about. But you can utilize that energy to essentially get them caught or caught up in a web of their own bullshit. People that are really good manipulators. There's a lot of things that you can do, especially when you have the whole family together.
Hmm.
That's like a complex situation, but
Oh, I just got another good idea. Sorry.
there's a lot of things that you can do if nobody sees that your cousin is up to no good except for you, and kind of bring that up to light and bring their true nature up during the holidays, especially the December holidays when it's really really family oriented and gift oriented. You can also kind of disguise gifts into things too.
Yes, which we can well, I think we should talk more in depth about malediction, hearth and home with the next video in the members section, so they get more of like the thought processes that are going through this mind. Oh, but
And if you haven't heard, what he's touching on is members only portion of tonight's show, which we'll switch over. Um, members only. If you haven't heard, you've been living under a rock probably because we've been talking about it for a while. But we've officially gone to a membership kind of situation where you buy the membership and you get exclusive videos that are very personal, very in depth, way more informative and personal to our craft. So we're going to be giving away more craft secrets in those videos. So again, we've said it before. If you think that we give away a lot in these videos and these shows, um, you know, you don't know anything yet. So if you're curious about that, of course, become a member. And will you post the link to the website in
I will.
this description? Okay.
I shall. Um, I feel like there was something I was gonna say. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Maybe we should prompt people for video responses.
Mm.
Yeah. Now go ahead and don't y'all speak up now. It was your idea.
Um, well, okay, kind of a two-part prompt. How, make a video response to this. Um, First telling us how you will do something or how you incorporate prosperity into the season and kind of magically gift giving. Um, Maybe it's cooking, maybe it's writing someone a letter, maybe you're enchanting a gift literally that you're going to give them at Yule or Christmas with your magic. Tell us what you do with that. And the second part was how do you use the Hearth and Home season to cause a little havoc? How would you use that for malediction?
I like that.
So first you're really sweet, then you're really sour.
And speaking of sour, so the members only, you all should have gotten an invite to the show that we're going to do next. And I actually am going to share with you a private working that I did, and that involves souring stuff. So definitely check for that link. Click over if you haven't subscribed. Definitely do that, and we will actually talk to you soon. We'll post the public link for our next public show when we have it ready, which we already do because it was in the newsletter. So check it out, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.
Bye, guys.